Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name's Allison, and today I'm really excited to go over the 25 things I am not buying in 2025 to support my low buy year. So low buy and no buy has been trending, in social media and YouTube for years. And last year I started really dabbling with low buy for a lot of reasons, like, saving money, aligning my purchases with my values. And those are things that I want to be even more intentional about in 2025. I starting to see the benefits in 2024 from reducing my spending, reducing my shopping time and my scrolling, being able to spend more time reading books, doing the things that I love, like herbalism, being outside, spending time with friends and family. So this year in 2025, I'm going to be creating what are my low buy year rules and what those are. And those are still forming. I'm working on them. I'm writing them down. I'm thinking about them, thinking about the lessons that I learned in 2024. Of course, watching other people's low buy and no buy rules in their videos for inspiration. But I really want to be successful in this year to come, so I want to be thoughtful around it. Also in 2025, I think quarterly check-ins would be really helpful to me and hopefully interesting for you all to see how this low buy year is going. How much am I spending? Am I saving money? Am I following these rules? Have I broke any of them? It'll help hold me accountable and again, will hopefully be interesting to you. So definitely subscribe if living more sustainably, having low buy or no buy years is interesting to you. And then of course, if you love reading, because that's my other favorite thing to talk about on this YouTube channel. So for 2025, what I thought would be really helpful for me is to make a list of 25 things. Even though I am choosing to do a low buy year this year, what are the 25 things I will just not be buying in 2025? To just take those off of the possibility list, to be able to free my mind so that I don't even think about being able to buy them because they're no-go. We're not doing it in 2025. So let's get into that list. First on my list is a super hard one for me, but one that I feel like is necessary because I love them and they just always find their way into my house, and that is plants. I love plants. You only see two here, but I have dozens spread throughout my home, and I feel like I have enough. I feel like also there's a lot of maintenance for them that I care for them, changing their soils, making sure they have, fertilizer, watering, and I don't need any more. I have enough. Honestly, in some places in my house, I have too many where they're just not styled nicely and they're just piled in a space because there's only so many places to put plants. So no buying plants this year. Also, I don't need any new underwear or socks. At the end of last year, I did need some. I replaced some of those items, and I definitely have a full drawer of undergarments and socks, so I will not be buying any of those in 2025. Kitchen gadgets is another item that there will be no new ones sneaking into the house. My husband actually does most of the cooking in our house, but we've gone through and gotten rid of a lot of the things that we've accumulated over the years. We got married over a decade ago, but you still have those items that you got for wedding gifts or, Christmases, wedding showers, things like that, where you're just like, why do we have all these extra gadgets that serve one purpose? So we've gotten rid of a lot of those. We have 3 really nice knives, not the whole block of knives. And so just not gonna include or bring in any new kitchen gadget. Candles is something that I love to buy. I love to buy ones when you're at the farmer's market and some local person made them. I've made candles before. This one right here is one that I've made where you buy the big box of coconut wax, and you add your own essential oils. And so I love candles. My friends know this. I often get them gifted to me. But I've had quite a bit like backing up, because typically I'm only burning 1 or 2 candles at a time. So in 2025, that is my goal. One, I'm not allowed to buy any unless I don't have any more. So I'm gonna allow myself one like backup candle and then the current candle that I'm burning, and that's it. And so if I have those 2 candles, one currently burning, one in backup, then I know when I'm at a cute little gift shop or at the farmer's market or something like that, like I'm not looking at candles because I can't buy any because I have those 2. If I'm burning one and I don't have a backup, then I will let myself look at them and possibly buy them because I really love the ambiance, the soft scent. All of those things like essential oils and natural waxes are my kind of candles, my kind of jam, and I will still allow myself to buy them, but I'm not gonna let them build up. And if I get them gifted to me, then I have to like burn through those ones until I'm back at this burning one and only one backup. This year, I won't be buying any tarot decks or affirmation decks or any of those style of items. I have a few that I love to use, and so I'm just going to dig in with practicing and using what I have. And as tempting as it is to bring new ones in and use them on my altar, I just won't be doing that this year. A lot like candles and tarot decks, I love journals, things like that, notebooks. They are items that when you're out and about, you see one and you think about it, you're like, oh, that'll be perfect for this, but then you don't realize or think about always like how many do you actually have throughout your home? Like how many do you have on your desk? How many do you have by your bedside? Like the calendar planner that you have, the little piece of notebook that you have where you like write down your shopping list or things like that. Like this year, I have I've been going through my house and minimizing and decluttering a lot. So like I have a stack and an understanding of how many notebooks I currently have. And for some reason, if I fill all of those up, then I can buy another one if I need one. But for now, I don't see that happening in 2025, but I have to use what I have currently in my home when it comes to journals and notebooks. Number 7 on the list is I will not be buying any throw blankets or throw pillows, like decorative pillows. Obviously I have those throughout my house. I feel like I'm like good on the blankets. I feel cozy about them, but I do feel drawn often to throw pillows. I'm not the type of person to buy like seasonal ones, like ones for the holidays or, Halloween or things like that. But I do love a good throw pillow. I like to be able to like refresh them on different couches or seats or on my bed. But in 2025, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy any. In 2024, I didn't buy any. So I'm going to keep that trend going. No throw pillows and no blankets. In line with that is no new home decor that is specifically new. I do love thrifting and secondhand shopping. So if I come across something like really vintage, awesome, something like that, then I might let myself buy it if it's secondhand. But those aisles, that are in like Target and whatever store you're shopping in, random things that are just home decor that you have to find a place to hang it on your wall, you have to find a bookshelf or something to set it on, like no home decor unless it is just something super unique and cool that I find like at a flea market or a thrift store. That's the only exception. When I was thinking through this list and thinking about, like the journals and notebooks that I have in my house and going through and decluttering, I definitely found a small pile of, little thank you cards and stationery sets. So for 2025, I will not be buying any stationery or cards, things like that, unless I use through everything that I have in my house. Number 10 on this list of no buy is no new shoes. I have plenty of shoes. I've got boots and, you know, like a nice pair of heels that I wear to like weddings, pretty much is the only time I bust those out. You know, sneakers, hiking boots, all of those. Again, sort of like the stationery. The only exception is if, you know, like I wear through my hiking boots or they like have a hole or break. I don't see that happening, but those are utilitarian. I love hiking. I love going for walks. So if for some reason I use through the shoes that I currently have, I will let myself do a replacement, but like one in, one out. The next two on my list are going to be incredibly hard for me, and that's why, you know, that's why they're on this list. They're not all, like, these have to be things that feel some kind of way, things that you often feel drawn to picking up or buying if you're at the store. And for me, or while you're browsing online, of course. For me, I love all natural skincare. It's been a thing that I've gotten really into over the last decade plus. I love talking about it, finding women-owned brands, and I use it is the thing. Like, I use my skincare every morning, every night. You know, I double cleanse, I use serums and moisturizers. I'm not like one of those people that have those like 7 or 12 step skincare processes, but like I've got my bottles of facial oils and serums and, like I said, double cleanses and face masks. Like, it's something that I genuinely love to do. It does not feel like a chore for me. So I have plenty. Use up what you have. And once you're done with like no facial serums, then I will allow myself to buy replacements for them. But again, I really have to be pretty strict with myself on this because this is a category that I acquire quite a bit of items in. The other one is makeup. So makeup, I'm not a big makeup collector, nothing like skincare, but I do really, again, love my all natural clean makeup. It's what I've been wearing and using for over a decade. I feel like I have enough of everything, right? Like, I'm not in need of, nobody needs additional blushes or bronzers or highlighting powders or yada yada. So for me to help curb my spending and save more money, because the thing is, like, these all natural skincare items and makeup, it's not like drugstore prices. You know, when you're buying a bronzer from an all natural brand, it's $30 something or more, you know, so these are not cheap items. So I really need to like use what I have. And again, if there are things like my tinted moisturizer, my SPF like tinted moisturizer that I use every single day, or a concealer, things that I can perceive of like running out of, that is okay. And I will allow myself to replace it. But, you know, acquiring new lipsticks, new lip glosses, new eyeshadow. There is no world in which 2025 I all of a sudden use through like all the eyeshadows and every single lipstick bullet that I have. So won't be buying any of those. All right, some rapid fire items to just like bust through is this year I'm not going to be buying any reusable water bottles or coffee cups. I have a reusable coffee cup. I have multiple reusable water bottles. You know, some are for hiking, some I use for travel. So no more of those coming into the house this year. I bundled all these together. They're single-use items, you know, cotton rounds for like using facial toner, Ziploc bags in the kitchen, plastic cling wrap. These single-use items, I will not be buying any of those this year. I'll be using, you know, Tupperware or stasher bags, things that I can reuse, putting toner just straight on my hands and patting it into my face. So using beeswax instead of the single-use plastic cling wrap. So none of those items will I be buying this year. I'm listing tote bags and purses as two separate items on my list of 25. I feel like I get drawn into them for different reasons. I love like those canvas tote bags with like images on them, or clever phrases, things like that. I really like canvas tote bags. I use them, at stores all the time so that I'm not using single-use plastic bags. So they draw me in for different reasons than purses. So no buying new canvas tote bags and no buying any new purses in 2025. I'm not someone that collects a lot of perfumes, but I do love all natural perfumes, and they can be more rare to find. So when I'm in this is usually when I'm in a gift shop, in a cute little downtown, or here in Joshua Tree, there's so many amazing little gift shops. And when you're in them and you find an all natural perfume and it smells amazing, it's I get very drawn to it. The dopamine hits in my brain start going off, and I want it. So I have a very small collection of 3 perfumes that are all natural, that I love them. One I actually made, and so those are what I will be using this year, and now I can just turn off my brain when I'm at a gift shop or I see them. It's just oh, I'm not buying those this year. And so it's an easy no, and will save myself time. And then also going down the rabbit hole of but does it smell different? And it's supporting a local business, and all the things that my justifying brain starts to kick in. I'm just going to shut it down and say I'm not buying any perfumes this year. All right, item number 18 on my list is hair accessories. So this includes, scrunchies, hair ties, hair clips, claw clips, sleeping silk bonnets, any of those things, having curly hair. I use very specific, silk scrunchies or certain kinds of hair ties, things like that. But it's I have enough of those. I have them. I do not need to buy any more this year. And again, for some reason, if every single silk scrunchie I have gets stretched out, or I lose it or something like that, I will allow myself to buy another one, but I honestly don't see that happening. I have enough of all of these items, so no new hair accessories for me this year. The next 2 items on my list, they kind of go hand in hand. One is I'm not going to allow myself to buy any gifts on Amazon. So I live in Joshua Tree, California. Many of my friends and family all live in different cities and states away from me. So I've often used Amazon to send them, holiday gifts, birthday gifts, Mother's Day gifts, things like that. And I live in this awesome community where there are so many makers and local gift shops where that's where I want my money to go. So when I need to buy a gift, I'm going to shop locally for that gift and either ship it myself or gift it to them the next time I see them. Or I will allow myself to shop on Etsy to find something and have it shipped straight through Etsy. So those are the places. So it is kind of a no shopping here, but only shopping in this way. So that's more in line with the low buy method instead of just a clean cut no buy. And along with gifting is I'm not going to be buying any gift wrap in 2025. Like most millennials, I have, a drawer that has bags that I can pull from and use, some tissue paper. Gift wrapping paper itself actually has a coating of plastic on it, on the backside, that has it hold that sturdiness. So to buy gift wrap that's coated in plastic that cannot be recycled is just not something that I want to do or will do this year. So no gift wrap, and putting some rules and parameters around gift buying this year. All right, the last 5 items on my list of 25 is no buying new mugs or glasses. So I love ceramic mugs, especially when you're at a cool gift shop and they're handmade and they have those cool speckled designs on them. I just love a good mug. I'm usually drinking tea or coffee throughout the day, all day. And so I love a mug. And then also glassware, again, being someone that likes to thrift and go to flea markets, you come across some really cool glassware, but I have enough. My cupboards are full. I have enough glasses for water and wine and mugs for tea. So no glasses or mugs this year. I used to buy a lot more crystals than I have in the past, year or so, but I do still find myself so drawn to them. I love to have them around my home. I think they are beautiful, but I have enough. I have a small collection that are scattered throughout my home, my bedside table, on my desk at work. And so I just want to put, again, some clear rules around no more buying crystals. So, don't need to go into local crystal shops or while I'm on vacation finding them. There's just some of these things are to just have a cleaner rule around so that my brain doesn't even have to spend the time thinking about, oh, should I buy that? Do I really need it? Should I afford it? I don't know, all of that chatter is just brain space that I don't want to give to making some of these purchase decisions. So having these clean rules like the perfume, crystals, no mugs and glassware, they're easy no's for me so that when it pops up in my brain, I can go, nope, it's on the list of 25 things that we're not buying this year, and then I can just move on. I'm sure my brain will rebel more in the beginning than it will towards the end of the year, but we will see in our quarterly check-ins. But for me, I will not be buying any crystals this coming year. Item number 23 on my list is no new pajamas. I have plenty of pajamas. I also have loungewear that I could downgrade into pajamas if I needed to. Pajama sets are so alluring because who doesn't love to be cozy and comfortable and cute even when they're hanging out in their house? But I have enough of them. My drawer is full. And so I will just, again, put that in my brain that we're just not buying any pajamas or loungy sets to just hang out in the house. Number 24 on my list, I guess I should have talked about it when I talked about skincare and makeup, and that is hair care. As someone that wears their hair curly, I've got a lot of products when it comes to my hair, cleansing shampoos, hydrating shampoos, curl cream, hold, all kinds of items. And I have those. I will use what I have. I love my all natural hair care product, but because I'm only allowed to replace the items and not just acquire some new things here or there, I will only be buying the things that I know work for me, because I'm not going to risk buying a new shampoo or a new conditioner or a new curl cream and then having it not work and then having to suffer through using it through the whole bottle. So for this year, I'm only going to be buying replacements when it comes to hair care, and most likely that means I'm only going to be buying the things that I know work and win for me. All right, we've made it to number 25. Number 25 on my list is I will not be buying any physical books this year. I've gotten really into reading in 2024, chewing through way more books than I ever have before. And so I definitely don't want to start acquiring all of these books, also spending a ton of money on physical books. So no new physical books will be coming into my house this year by me purchasing them. I will be using the library, my Libby app, for ebooks and audiobooks. I will allow myself to buy ebooks or an audiobook if I can't get them through my library or the Libby app, but I won't be buying any physical books this year. All right, that's my list of 25 things that I am not going to be buying in 2025. I would love to know, are you doing a low buy or no buy year? Are you thinking about it? Again, last year I just started dabbling and really seeing what it would feel like to try it out for a month, or to try it out for a few weeks, or to change one behavior. And because I started doing that in 2024, I'm ready to dive more fully into this world in 2025, really setting some hard list for myself of these 25 things I will not be buying. Like I said, I am curating my rules for myself for my 2025 low buy year. And so if that interests you, I'd love it if you subscribe to stick around. That'll be my next video coming out. You can also follow me over at Simply Allison on Instagram, and I will see you in my next video. Bye y'all.